Number 30 in the 101 Films Black Label range is Following, Christopher Nolan's debut film that came out in 1998. Now, this was always one of those movies that I had heard a lot about, but I'd never had the chance to check it out. Coming out on a label that I love, I was really interested in delving into this one, which, it should be said, has an absolutely fantastic package in this. The extras, which I'll go into later on, are astounding. But the film itself revolves around Bill, an idle young man who is kind of lost in the world, doesn't really know where his direction lies. He wants to be a writer. He just can't seem to sit down and actually write. So he follows people, and we get it through voiceover and some images at the start that he's been following random people, trying to just pick up their lives, trying to spot what they're about so he can create characters for his book.
I started to follow people.
Who?
Anyone, first. That was the whole point. Somebody at random. Somebody who didn't know who I was.
Until he discovers Cobb, a man who he finds fascinating, a man who he decides to follow more than just one day, but repeatedly to see what he's up to, discovering that he is a robber, someone who breaks into people's houses and just steals stuff. And he starts to make a connection with Cobb as he takes him under his wing, and they start to commit these robberies together. Of course, in typical neo-noir fashion, there is a blonde who throws everything up in the air in this mix. There are double and triple crosses. There are misdirects galore in this wonderful neo-noir movie that was actually way better than I thought it was going to be. You can see how this movie is very Nolan. He's hit the ground running here. He does a lot of things in this movie that really continue into his filmography. The voiceovers, the characters, the misplacing of time, and the playing with how the linear quality of the film is put together, the idea of the story, the sort of misdirects that are going on. All of these things feature prominently in just about every other Nolan film, and it's great to see how he's always been fascinated with this. He always knows how to construct a really good story and put it together, which he does here.
Your advice?
What advice?
About changing my appearance. Got my hair cut. I'm all dressed up.
With no place to go.
Now, it's low budget. A lot of it's handheld. A lot of it is not the best of acting or staging or where the camera placement or the lighting is set up. But that kind of rough edges that the film has, I think, adds to the overall aesthetic of the film. It creates that almost documentarian fashion of seeing into people's lives. You feel as if you're prying in an almost voyeuristic sense into the world that we have here. Although it's a small cast, it feels grander than it actually is, and it just shows you what you can do with a really small budget, with a great story at the heart of it.
Is there something else on your mind?
Yeah, I want to hit a place.
Well, I've been scouting out a couple of places.
A particular place.
Following is absolutely tremendous. I loved this. I was hooked on it from the start. A movie at 70 minutes. This is something I can see me watching a lot. In fact, I would watch this more than some of the other Christopher Nolan films that I've seen, because I just feel it's so perfectly delivered within what he had, from the story that he had, that he's accomplished in that runtime, with the actors being filmed over a year. It's just marvellous. The fact that it fits into neo-noir, it ticks all my boxes. The kind of moody photography fit in this 16mm black and white film fits perfectly with the story, and it just creates this wonderful film that I think is going to be more rewarding on each and every watch. Now, as I said, the package that 101 Films have made here for Following is absolutely phenomenal. All the on-disc extras are terrific. Let's dive in and have a look at them. Here we are in the disc for Christopher Nolan's Following. Let's go to the extras. You'll see there's a bunch here, and they're all pretty fantastic. First up, we have a commentary with actor Jeremy Theobald and film critic James Mottram. Then we have Unfollow, director Christopher Nolan, on Following. This is a recently filmed extra. It's 23 minutes 8 seconds. He talks about getting the funding for this, how he was working with people from his old university, how he was filming it on weekends. Goes into lots of information about this one. Similarly, a recent filmed extra as well, or all of these are, is producer Emma Thomas on Following, which is 16 minutes 58 seconds. Again, she's just talking about a little bit about her career, how she started off in the film business, how she kind of moved into producing this film, and how things just evolved from there. But just the loving feeling that she has, or the way she talks about this film, is just terrific. We have Wandering, actor Jeremy Theobald, on Following, and this is 23 minutes 38 seconds. Talking about his relationship with Nolan, how he came onto the film as a producer as well, and what he brought to it. The Blonde, actor Lucy Russell, on Following, is 16 minutes 4 seconds. Quite a funny anecdote about how she kind of got at least an audition for this, and how she got into the film and her thoughts on it. Pay Attention, Jonathan Nolan, on Following. This is 18 minutes 59 seconds. He kind of talks about how he was on the periphery of this film, kind of dropping in and out. He wasn't one of the mainstays, but his thoughts in the film, how he can, kind of can't objectively look at it, but thinks it's a really great debut, and a little bit about how he got into the business as well. Backtracking, editor Gareth Heel, on Following, is 21 minutes 9 seconds, and he kind of talks about how he just kind of haphazardly ended up working on this film because he had access to a lot of equipment, and how it kind of got him into a career that he was really wanting to get into. Setting the pace, we've got the composer David Julian on Following, which is 11 minutes 15 seconds. Again, he's talking about how he came up with the music, working closely with Nolan, how a couple of the pieces were actually previous pieces he'd composed that just fit into the film perfectly. Following in their footsteps, actors Jeremy Theobald and Lucy Russell revisit the exterior locations, which is 11 minutes 26 seconds. It's just kind of good seeing these people have a lot of fun revisiting this. You get Doodlebug, the short film by Christopher Nolan, which is 2 minutes 56 seconds, and the theatrical trailer, which is 1 minute 20, and that's the on-disc extras. In addition to that, in this package you have a booklet which has 2 essays in it. We have What's in the Box by James Mottram, and we have Lingering Shadows, a look at Nolan's early neo-noir, following by Andrew Graves. Both terrific written essays that offer a lot more to this absolutely fantastic package, and that's the complete extras for Following. So there we have it. Number 30 on the 101 Films range is a must buy. You need to pick this up. It is fantastic. It's comprehensive. It's got current interviews with the cast and crew, which are really interesting to watch, and shows their kind of passion and love for this project, and it's made me super excited about their Memento release that's coming soon. If it's got half as good extras on that, it'll be phenomenal. I would love to know your thoughts on Following, whether you love it, hate it, you think it's an interesting start, you think it's one of Nolan's best. Let me know in the comment box below. It's always good to have other opinions that people can check out as well. As always, there's more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. And in the description box below are links to the Patreon, the membership program, and manvfilm.com. Always, it means you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.